wall goes up. You cannot run, but Fear was not going to let you hide. He wants to try and bring down a Force, but a Force ends ground. And Champ pulls Fear back in the base after her Force gets a double kill. Leap on the way! The leap on the swap on the leap!
Butchering Brax, phase shift dodges it, but to what end? They've done no damage. Now the song's down and Fnatic are gonna move on here.
Both guys, they want to signal the tree line. Denny gonna phase shift, and then with the Shiva's gone, they're gonna jump in. Koro! Big stun, double stun, feed could cancel, black hole, won't go. He actually gets hurt. KYM trying to fire, locked in position. A Force with a double kill. Mushi almost dead, and instead, Mushi down. SK will buy back, and GG! Navi! Are you ready? Welcome back, everybody, to our coverage of the MLG TKO. I'm TobiWan.
And I'm Dota Capitalist.
And we are going to be at the point, man, we're going to be really sad when we don't get to watch that intro anymore. We already had extra days. As most people notice at the end of the intro, it says 22nd of March. Because we're the nice guys, we ended up extending the tournament so things would work out better for the players, their schedules, and all that kind of jazz. For now, though, Cap, this is the last game of the stages. No more group stages. We've gone through 3 of them. This is our final. No more. That's all she wrote. Not a single nada more. No extra sausage on the Barbie. This is it. Last game.
It all comes down to this, except for it really doesn't, because
that's the too long didn't read version.
It really just doesn't really matter what happens here all that much, except for the extra points. It doesn't matter for RoX KIS anyway. All they've got is pride on the line here.
Well, then again, there's a lot of pride they've got to try and get back. RoX KIS, we were talking about it before, saying that RoX KIS have been having possibly the hardest run out of any team in CIS, especially any team with that level of quality players in your lineup.
Yeah,
it's been a real disappointment the last few weeks for these guys, and they need something. They just want they won their game early tonight up against Empire in a nice, convincing fashion. It was a wonderfully played Ember Spirit by Solo. It really got some fantastic momentum in behind it, and Team Empire seemed to just be caught napping. They got nailed down early on, even though they kind of looked like they had the decent start, especially with what happened up there on the top lane. But yeah, RoX KIS, they pushed through, and they showed they can only start a game decently, they can finish a game very nicely.
Yeah, they played really well. It wasn't Team Empire just fumbling the ball entirely. RoX KIS just played really good Dota. Unfortunately, though, they seem to have lost some of that steam as they just got done with their match up against Liquid, and they got their combo. This is their combo that they played with, the Elder Titan, Dazzle, Slardar. They got their 100% win rate combo and got crushed. Just obliterated out of the sky. They're gone. They were just done for. So I don't know if they're going to be able to recover from that crushing defeat, especially since Team Empire already doing really good things with the draft here.
Yeah.
You laughed at it.
Yeah.
We had the Ember Spirit first pick from RoX KIS, and Team Empire oh, what a surprise. You picked up Ember Spirit first. We're so shocked that we're instantly going to pick up the Bat Rider as well as the Doom, 2 of the best single target disables in the game.
Yeah. And then you also give over a Fiend script from a Rubik's deal. It's good luck. Good luck, RoX KIS. Good luck. Yeah, I obviously gave out a muted cackle because our mics weren't live at that point. But it really is, man. Bat Rider and Doombringer, what is the Ember Spirit meant to achieve in this game? Even if they do give him farm, even if they do give Ember Spirit a really good start to the game, he can't do anything with it. Because you'll be initiated on too much by Doombringer and Bat Rider. The only hope I really feel for RoX KIS right now is that they're able to do a lot of smoke rotation ganking, nail down the Bat Rider, and make sure Doombringer is just smothered. So nowhere to farm. Lich would have actually done a really good job for that one. Just running Lich in a lane, holding back the creep wave, forever harassing out. If you then had your Bane and Mirana combination, you got some good burst damage to then try and follow up for a kill. So very smart banding coming out from Mag here.
Yeah, as well as taking away the obvious Mirana Bane combo as well. RoX KIS, they go ahead and take away some supports that they don't want to see. Visage being banned out, not a huge surprise. Visage just being a strong support in general probably would have been first pick for Team Empire. But the follow-up Disruptor, another good control-heavy hero that's extremely good versus Ember Spirit, especially whenever Ember Spirit throws out that Sleight of Fist. That being said, I still want to fall back on what I said in Game 2, which was the fact that look how much of the draft Team Empire has picked up solely to counter out the Ember Spirit. Like it's not that Ember Spirit is unbeatable, but you're also allocating a lot of your resources just to deal with him. RoX KIS still had 4 other picks to go after that. So I think they have done a good job banning out the Ember Spirit, but he's not the be-all, end-all of RoX KIS's lineup. We still don't know what sort of hard carry they're going to be running here. They just pick up the Centaur, which gives them more mid-game aggression. That's what I want to see. I want to see them when Ember Spirit is so completely shut down just from the drafting phase by Team Empire. I want to see them still run Ember Spirit ultra aggressive. Like, I don't want them to be aiming Ember Spirit going into the late game at all, because that's when those single target disables are really going to be the most powerful. But for now, early on, hell, even pre-level 6, Ember Spirit's a terror. But start getting into 7, 8, before Doom and Batrider really have their blinks, before they're really ready to move around the map, Ember Spirit is going to be ready. He's going to be looking for those kills. Now we have another shutdown hero, though. Really, Team Empire, they pick up a physical damage dealer, which is already good against Ember Spirit because Flame Guard. A physical damage extremely strong versus Ember Spirit because he's still squishy, and then also a natural Orchid pickup.
Yep, this is also backing RoX KIS into a corner. We noticed with the 3 calls coming out from Team Empire, you got Batrider, Doombringer, and Clinks. Now, if I was a man who knows Team Empire, which luckily I am, I would say Batrider will be going towards the off lane for this game, and then push the Clinks into the mid. Leave Silent playing up that Doombringer up on the top lane, and put Resolution on the Clinks in the middle lane. So you get the one-on-one Clinks on Ember Spirit. Then the last point of this lineup is going to come with either a Enchantress, Chen, or an Enigma. And the reason why I say these 3 heroes is because you want someone that can move with Rubik and gank with him. Now, you could force that to be like a Lashrak, but this is a killing kind of lineup. Like, unless you're going 4 points lightning for Lashrak, that'll be the only other way to do it. But because you got the Centaur up on the field right now, I'm feeling like they need some extra control and some extra strength. So that's the reason why I'm looking for this like jungle-style controlling hero to come up. And they're going to remove off the Abaddon so they don't have unkillable heroes, RoX KIS, because they got Slag, Centaur, and Ember. They are really hard heroes to lock down, but at the same time, you've got Doom, you got Lasso, and now you can have an Orchid Clinks.
Yeah, I'm not convinced about the Slark, honestly. I was thinking about, like, what sort of heroes deal well with so much single target? Whether it's single target disable or single target DPS coming out from the Clinks. Like, either way, what sort of heroes are going to deal best? You know, it's like, okay, well, you're going to take away most of the agility heroes because most of them are relatively squishy. So Clinks as well as Doom really are going to be able to shut them down with just one little Orchid hit or one little Doom throw out. But I'm not really sure if I agree with the Slark here. He's a hero who, if they lead with that Orchid and catch him out before the Dark Pact or before he pops his ultimate or anything else, he's going to be a really easy kill. Now, he goes with the aggression that RoX KIS's lineup has so far, but I was expecting more of a harder carry, going even something that does well with aggression, but is still a hard carry. For example, Spectre is a hero who does sit back, but is able to combo off of early aggression because your ultimate comes online so early that you add in that extra bit of force, and is also not completely destroyed by Doom and those sort of things because you still are mainly a right clicker with just a big tanky amount. You usually have Radiance. So that was what my thought was going to be for RoX KIS, but they just go all out, typical CIS Dota, and just go all in for that 20-minute fight.
There it is from Team Empire. You want a 5-5 fight? With an element of push. So if they take fights now, they've got potential to bring down towers. That's the beautiful thing coming out from RoX KIS at the moment. And, well, I love their lineup. Sorry, I meant Team Empire. I love their lineup. It's just all round, it's a wonderful selection of heroes. I almost want to see him try aggro tri-lanes, especially like your Bane and Shadow Shaman coming up. If they really want to try and mix this up, Well, it's going to be Resolution Clinks in the middle lane. That I wasn't going to like worry about. But where Rubik and Latrak end up is my big question for Team Empire. Did they try and throw these guys into an aggro try? And even then, do they just start there? They don't have to remain there. But there's got to be smoke.
Right. My question is for RoX.
There's actually no smoke. They didn't even pick up smoke. Okay, they don't care. We're going for farming. If someone comes too close on the top lane, they kill them. And solo? Okay, this is ballsy from RoX. They're going to try and run solo on this offlane solo Ember Spirit. Y'all's moving in towards middle lane with Seedoy, who is the Centaur War Runner in this game, while Goldblack supporting bottom lane, and he'll be babysitting BZZ, who's the Slark down here. Now, mid-solo Centaur is probably the only way they can hope to survive up against that Clinks in the mid. I think they realize that Ember Spirit is going to not be able to come in close to get any kind of last hits.
Yeah.
So they're going to force him up towards the top lane. But then that's a risk. Telekinesis means not certain death, but it's going to bring him low anyway.
Now, if this feels like something that RoX devised at after they already had all their picks up, or on the 4th pick or something like that, because in which case, why would you pick up if you wanted to throw down offlane Ember Spirit, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with this idea, but what are you really prioritizing in the mid lane though? Why would you pick up a Centaur, who is traditionally an offlaner, to be your mid? He's I think he can do a good amount of work here as a mid hero, but I don't think it's going to be enough to make up for the fact that Ember Spirit is going to be non-existent in this match. He's an offlane hero right now, so he's not going to be picking up much anyway. But then on top of that, we talked about the way the Empire specifically countered him out. I'm okay if they run the offlane Ember, but I don't think Centaur is going to be a big enough do-shit hero for RoX in order to make up for the lack of an Ember. If they had run something I don't know, a Storm Spirit, something like that in the mid, and gone, haha, surprise, offlane Ember, we still have a good mid hero. You didn't think about that.
The problem is, though, if they try to run a Storm Spirit or any kind of Storm or Puck or something along these lines, then you're dealing with Doom, Orchid, Lasso. You've still got so much control that can come your way.
Yeah, maybe Storm Spirit is a bad example because we have so much single target disable, but there's still many other mids who would still be...
You could run something like DK. DK, for example, nice amount of life points. Now, Vanscore, he's dragging back Yol a long way. Nightmare has to be used on Resolution, but also look at what Resolution did for his first ability. Now he gets his second ability up, which is the Searing Arrows, but he went Skeleton Walk from level 1. That's just security in the middle lane because he wasn't sure what was going to be coming there, and now they get rid of Observer Wards with their Sentry going down. No surprises whatsoever should be coming the way here of Empire. But just... interesting to see the Resolution's mindset coming into this game, because it's not something you'd normally expect from him.
I'm actually, so this is something that I was watching, that I had occur in one of my pub games, and I was kind of trying to theory craft it a little bit, but offlane Ember Spirit is not all that terrible. Mainly because, again, just the changes to the offlane. You have so many other offlaners that are viable now.
It's terrible when you get caught out like this, however. And now, a quick chain, that's all he can really do. That lightning damage, 22 line points he dropped down to before that after that lightning connected. But it is, you're right, it's actually not too bad because you've still got the ability to dodge this Latrak stun on top. Unless you're being held in telekinesis, you can't dodge it. But he actually went for a quick fisting before on the top lane. And by doing so, he actually dodged the Latrak stun when Vanscore wasn't there.
Really goes back to the way Ember Spirit functions as a mid hero. You know how I was talking about how he doesn't pick up a whole lot of farm because he's so busy hunting heroes. That's traditionally the traits of an offlane hero, where all you really need is your levels. You don't need that many stat items, but you just go around just purely through levels going around hunting heroes, and that's exactly what Ember Spirit does. He doesn't, he wants phase boots, he wants drums, but that's all he needs to have a big impact on the game.
Well, you're right about that, man. But for now, I'm going to wait until he has that impact before I give it seal of approval kind of thing. Because right now I'm feeling the other offlane is doing even better. Maggie was able to farm up a little bit of the Radiant side jungle, is now stacking up his own. So this is just going to be some quick injection of money and levels coming in for Mag. While all the other lanes are still doing okay. Resolution and Vanscore, there's still a dual lane here in mid. I'm still surprised that Cedoy's managed to pick up 14 last hits in comparison to the 11 of Resolution. Means that Bane is actually doing a decent job there. Vanscore will take the Nightmare off, and that's exactly what they want to have happen. The stop will go on too. Remember, they've still got the Sentry Wars down here, and with a little bit of steering arrows, Cedoy, she takes a lot more damage than what he was really able to dish out.
Yeah, that was smart by Resolution. Instead of just trying to like trade off the sleep back and forth or something like that, he just started attacking Cedoy. Because he knows Cedoy, he's going to start moving forward, but he has to double edge in order to get that kill damage on a Rubik. So he says, go ahead. Do you really want to double edge when you're already so low?
Solo trying to protect himself from Always Gonna Fly. Just puts up that flame guard. He's really, really concerned just about that lightning harassment. And that is what Always Wanna Fly is bumped up. I'm actually interested to see what Always Wanna Fly wants to do with this, as far as build-wise goes. Does he try and stick with the Split Earth? Because I know we ended up debating this one last night when we were casting. And if he ends up going for... But this was obviously a different scenario because it was a carry Lashrak. But if you have like 1 point Split Earth and then just Edict Lightning.
I believe he should go 1-4-4 build, mainly because they do need extra pushing power. Between him and the Clinks, they can take a lot of towers, but on top of that, the physical damage doesn't hurt when you're dealing with an Ember Spirit who's going to be maxing Flame Guard as an offlane hero. So already your magic damage is going to have a hard time doing much. That being said, the extra magic, like I love the Leshrac last pick here, mainly because of the Slark. Because Slark typically activates Shadow Dance after he's already low. If you have some good AoE abilities to throw out, it means Slark can't really be offensive during that Shadow Dance time. So maybe a wider AoE with Split Earth. You know where the Slark is. As long as you can land the Split Earth during that time where he Shadow Dance, you can actually basically minimize the amount of damage he can output. And the amount of heal he's getting from that as well.
RoX have done something rather unusual. We got 5 minutes in, and 4 men in mid. Now, they don't have a lineup that can jump in still. Like, the only one who has the ability to jump is Solo. He's the only one that gets it up for a kill here. While at the same time, like, Bat Rider's up inside of his own jungle, farming up. Mag's about to also go back to base right now. He doesn't want to stick out here. Actually, he's got enough for, like, 2 sticky napalms and a Firefly, so maybe he can take 1 extra camp. But they're committing a lot of time for 4 heroes to be in this middle lane. So to this point, we still don't have
Always Wanna Fly.
He's
going to get him. He's just going to chase him down here with the extra burn damage. That's going to be your first blood. Solo is doing so much better than I would have given the Ember Spirit offlane credit for. I mean, I'm in support of trying this out, but I had no idea he was actually going to be able to pick up this many early levels.
See, I still want to subscribe to it because early levels is one thing, but he doesn't have any kind of farm to his name. He gets first blood, but he gets it on the support hero. So the difference is still up a hell of a lot higher for like Mag. Mag is level 6 right now. It's a very good thing there was an Invis rune on top. They throw down the Sentry Ward, waiting for Yol to come back into it, because Mag's just hoping to get himself an easy lasso into a kill. But yeah, what my main concern is the fact that Solo won't be a presence in the fights until much later on. While Mag, he's already a Firefly lasso kind of guy, and he's 1k or so away from having his Blink Dagger. So you've already got that for him, and then you've got Doom coming out from Silence. So even if there is farm up on the on the Solo, and he does have levels, every part of that is just like nothing. It doesn't exist.
True. But if he can, like, as an offlane hero, if he's soaking up a Doom, that's a win in my mind. Because Doom is supposed to be used to counter out the mid hero or the carry. Now, RoX KIS don't really have a traditional mid hero to talk about. They don't have, like, the main damage dealing mid-game oriented mid hero to really, you can Doom out the Centaur if you want. It's going to be kind of useless. What in the world? Lag.
No, yeah, it's because they started up the game. I don't think Resolution is back again. He would never come onto the tower like this. That's the reason why. And Empire's just like question mark right now because it was actually Cedoy that ended up pausing the game. Because I think he's also having trouble here in the mid. Because Cedoy ran in here, and when he turned around, he had the possibility just to go in for the 3-point stun.
Yeah.
And that's what he backed off from. So because of that, Resolution is the space just to just ghost walk himself out.
Yeah, good guy Cedoy.
Top lane,
he could have
they have a crack on Silent. There's 2 levels up in Brain Sap, which has to be used. Silent, that Scorched Earth is just giving him such good movement speed and regeneration. For a guy also who just had his hand to Midas fly and he didn't want to die at this point of the game. But Solo and Yol trying to team up together to bring down that Doombringer.
Yeah, I don't think I'm pretty sure they knew they couldn't kill the Doom. Maybe if they found the support Leshrac, they could kill him. But I think what Yoel's going to do here is ensure that Solo gets his level 6, because that's a key level. Once he has that ultimate, he can actually start moving around the map, and I think he'll have a larger impact than you give him credit for. I think that maxed out Flame Guard, for everyone except for Klinks, it's going to be so powerful because magic damage is so key early on into the game. It's the presence of nukes that determine the early game. So that Flame Guard will actually allow him to be super tanky to everyone except Resolution, but Resolution won't have really that kill power. He's good physical damage, but not this early.
Yeah, it's actually something which I've been, I'm going to say disappointed with for Resolution, because he's still walking around with a really good CS, considering Empire actually hold the second to fourth CS points. But Resolution's DPS timing, like this is, like I've seen Klinks before which can be walking around with most of their Orchid completed by 10 minutes in. And right now with Ring of Aquila as well as Treads, it really feels like Resolution's going the long way around for this one. So his killing potential is going to be a little bit later. Same with Silent, like for a guy who's running ahead of Midas now, it's really going to take him some time before he's going to... use Midas. Midas, use. Right, there you go. Now I can feel a little bit happy about this. But it's going to take longer for that Midas to kick in. Now, Yol, well, good night, Matt. Mag was right in range to go for the lasso. He wants to try and slow down Yol. At least stop his turn rate, but the Doom, he's still nightmared up. They used the ulti. Godblack, he got stunned up quickly, so there wasn't his follow-up hit, and they had to walk through the fire and the flames. Now, 4 heroes from RoX gets up from a very long way, and the lightning damage. Godblack loses so much of his life so early on, so it's just up to Mag to finish the job. Now, Silent, he doesn't have mana for a Doom, but with Seedoy, 3 napalm stacks, Leshrac follow-up stun, they flame break him back. 3 heroes going down, and it actually looks like Solo just got picked up by Klinks on the top rune.
Yep, just a classic overextension there from RoX. They get way too aggressive early. I can see like the combo of Ember Spirit with Centaur. It's a fun combo because you ensure you get that slow movement speed from Stampede on those enemy heroes thanks to Sleight of Fist. You actually act as if your hero is on top of that enemy hero, so you slow them down. But if he had been able to land his Searing Chains and hold Doom in place, maybe they could have popped Doom real quickly, but you're still going off after a Doom. He's one of the tankiest heroes in the game early on, thanks to his just pure HP pool, but also the fact he's got Scorched Earth giving him that extra regen. That was just, in general, a terrible plan.
Yep. And the only hope you had was just to have more time, but when that lightning hits and then a couple of searing arrows to fly and you walk through Firefly, like that's like their entire team was actually on basically a fire patch. I'm not quite sure how RoX thought they would win that one. Not to mention, on top of all of that, you didn't have BZZ. He wasn't involved at all. Like, this guy has not left bottom lane. He's going for the very early Shadowblade build for himself. And once he's got this, if he doesn't just completely shut down Rubik and Leshrac and feed off their corpses, concerns will rise even higher. Higher than the gold and experience advantage, which for 10 minutes in is sitting at around 2.5k going the way of Empire. Not massive, but for a team that's looking for a decent rotation to the mid game, is pretty damn good.
Look at the smoke rotation. They know they need to shut down BZZ. They already, after that team fight, they just pretty much won the early game if they can kill BZZ.
They got him. Dark Pact to a go, but the Doom is still on top of him. He's trying to run himself away. Damn, he moves fast.
That's
It's the Stampede going for him, but they need to catch up close to get the napalm. Second napalm stack is on him. Blink on down with the flame break damage. That's not enough to get the kill with the Doom. And now Mag has overcommitted himself. Godblack putting on the shackles and the leap in, but the nightmare timing a little bit off there, but still they get the kill.
And when you don't kill a Slark like that, he will turn around and haunt you for that overextension, man. He was able to... That's why they were so desperately diving in, because they needed as much damage as possible, because they knew once the Doom ticked out, BZZ then had access to Shadow Dance and all of his extra regen, and he was just going to come right back and be aggressive in their face. I'm not always sure about the Shadowblade build, but this one, it works perfectly for BZZ. He knows he has to be aggressive here. He cannot be the one initiated on because of Doom, because of the potential Orchid, all these other things. He cannot afford to be surprised. He has to always be on the hunt, in which case Shadowblade gives him that exact initiation he needs. He has to be constantly moving around the map looking for those kills.
Yeah. He's the guy that makes the plays, so you can't be surprised when you're the one meant to be doing the surprising. I like this top lane, though, with always on a flying Van score. They get a little bit more space up here on the top lane to farm. While Silence goes jungle, he's running Devour and Hand of Midas. He's quite alright over there in the jungle. But at one point, we do have to see Empire try and force out towers, and that's the downside right now about always want to fly his build. He actually went a level into Pulse Nova very early on. So we don't actually have a single point up in Edict, so they can't just force out the towers easily. Something Empire do have going their way is the fact that the Fire Remnants were stolen by Rubik. Now, again, I'm wondering when Vanskor hits his Arcane Boots. But he's going to jump in like this. And now this initiation. Solo Spirit is way too close, but they're trying to get the Doom off here from Silent. If they could control him out of range of the Tier 1 tower, the Doom would have been cast just then. But they at least burned through almost every bit of mana that Solo has got, including the Spirits.
It was interesting to see whether or not Solo, I think he was going to save up for Arcane Boots, but now that he's been forced back, he's just going to go for the Drums build. I think that Mana Boots would have been a good choice here as an offlane Ember Spirit. But for now, he needs a little extra tank. He needs to make sure he survives through the basic nukes. That way he can activate. If he does get caught out by the Telekinesis stun combo, he can survive through it and still activate his Fire Remnant.
Notice again, man. Vanskor again. Brace him, man. No matter what happens, he's going this, like, Boots, Full Wand, and Bracer. Just won't pass it up. Blink Dagger has now arrived for Seedoy, so more initiation going their way, but on bottom lane, Goldblack is trying to run away from Resolution as well as Always Want to Fly. Now, Serpent, once he got the Ward Trap off, now Always Want to Fly is going to fight Resolution out of here. The Shackles are going, Latraxton will get the kill, and Resolution just jumps Invis. They opened up a small gap in the wards, so Resolution and Always Want to Fly can back up.
That was an incredible trap. It's so unfortunate that nothing came of it. Double smoke, though, at top. Mag, as well as the smoke by Yol.
Oh, good Fiend script. And now BZZ just walks over. That really hits hard. Mag got into the Firefly, but a little bit too late. Vanskor trying to jump over with the Spirits now. He's managed to steal Fiend script, but again, not enough mana to actually use it. Now he does. Yol will come in and help him out, but then again, where is it? The Doom goes over on Solo, and leaves Silent and now to follow with the War Stomp coming out from that Centaur ability he stole before. Now Solo should tick out from the Doom. He's trying to stick close enough to the rest of his teammates so he can be denied. That's why Yol is remaining here with him, and now actually denies himself the neutral, while Slug kills off the Doombringer back behind the Tier 1 tower. This is causing some real problems for Empire. If they lose this game, they give a one-game advantage to Fnatic during the Grand Final.
This is exactly what I wanted to see. The offlaner tanks up the Doom for you, so Slark can just go and tear up everyone else. Resolution, though, he really wants this kill, but Brain Sap is up for Yol.
Oh, wait, what was
Steals it.
He ends up just stealing the item. Nightmare's going to be there, and there'll be a denial from that.
So not only did he just take the Mana Boots of Yol.
Did he actually just take his... That is actually his Mana Boots.
That is his Mana Boots,
because, correct me if I'm wrong, but no, Resolution didn't use those. He used them and then dropped them.
I was trying to figure out, like, what item...
He actually took. Solo being dragged back right now. Oh, big jump! Seedoy! Splits them up! Slark and Ember Spirit team up to kill off Klinks as well as Vanskor, but it was really Seedoy Blink Dagger surprising Empire completely on that top lane.
Hey, you know what, Toby? I wasn't convinced about, like, I was talking about mid-Centaur not really being high impact enough, but hell, if he hits a couple more good stuns like that, it'll all be worth it. That was a great blink initiation, or counter initiation, really.
It's just a shame they lost 1,500 worth of an item before that point.
Yeah.
But at least they'll take out the Tier 1 tower in the top lane. Shadow Shaman using his wards to help out with that.
I'm still confused of why he dropped his Mana Boots earlier.
It wasn't because anybody else was sitting there going to give him a charge.
Yeah, was Godblack there near with Mana Boots?
Could have been a bottle.
Mag's
I don't know.
Yol.
Yeah, dragging him back in the mid, and then quick searing arrows and Resolution, still just holding on to these Arcane Boots, mere mocking Yol. And, well, Ember Spirit comes in. Seedoy! Another two-man stun. Resolution, and what a Vanskor steal. He actually stole the stun, but already the Dark Pact was used. Warstomp has to be used by Hassan to give him some space to back up. But again, Batrider and Klinks, two core heroes going down for Team Empire with another great initiation in from Seedoy.
Yeah, that Stampede was perfect too, saving Yol. Speaking of which, Yol now has regular Boots of Speed. I still can't get over that, man. I still can't get over that. This poor support would be so farmed right now if he didn't have to do that. He would have an extra 1k gold. He could start building into some extra
actually, look at his net worth. It's sub 1,000 because he's basically just rolling away the item.
Well, at least they're going to take a Tier 1 tower. So two different towers going down. RoX KIS are using this aggressive lineup that they picked. they're using it effectively so far against Team Empire. They force some good fights, and off of that last pick, Shadow Shaman, I have to say, we didn't mention it, but I think Shadow Shaman was like the primo pick for RoX KIS, because it gives them extra control up against Team Empire, which is what you want to see against heroes like Clinks or Batrider, but also the pushing power of Shadow Shaman isn't really matched by any other support, which allows their whole aggressive lineup to actually be able to take objectives.
I just noticed the item over on Seedoy. I don't know if you've actually checked this one out. We might have to look at it in a moment after a mid-initiation. Because I'd like to have a nice little closer look at this. Actually, no, I'm going to do it now. But look at the axe he's got. But also look at the gem he's got on it. It is counting how many return kills he gets.
Huh. He's got, those are the most embarrassing kills, too. When you attack the centaur and kill yourself in the process.
Uh-huh. But he's got 2 return kills on that centaur.
Here, I thought you were talking about Blade Mail.
No. I was talking about that.
I was like, where are you going with this,
I was going with cosmetics, man. Going with cosmetics. Resolution searching for a kill right now. He needs to know who's down here, and he's going to find Gold Black. Now, he can't solo Gold Black just yet because he still needs the Orchid in order to do so. Because there's still the Hex and the Shackle. So both only level 1, but that's still enough for Gold Black to buy himself some space and get out. And Seedoy just blinking down, stealing runes. He's right underneath the Observer or the Dire side too, but he just doesn't care. There's a Centaur with 1,200 life points and 10 armor. No one right now on Empire has the damage to kill him. But they do have the damage to kill off Gold Black. There's pings coming out, in fact, from Gold Black himself, and now he's caught the tree line. Resolution will start the damage, and he's got more than enough. With that strafe, only level 1, it doesn't matter. It's the 4 points up in the Searing Arrows just let him fight straight through the life points of the Shadow Shaman.
Shadow Shaman had a good amount of gold, too. He could have, if he wanted to, saved up for a Blink Dagger, which is what he may do, or start working towards that Aghanims and just add in that extra pushing power, though. I like the way Team Empire, they're grouping up, right? They know a Shadow Blade is up for Slark. They can't afford to be splitting up and doing whatever they want, farming or whatever. They have to be grouped up, and off of that, they're looking for pickoffs. They're looking to be able to take towers. Well, you could see the positioning of Slark right now. Despite the fact he was DC'd, he was looking for kills in the enemy jungle, in that middle lane. These 2 other lanes were pushed out. He was expecting to be able to find someone. Little did he know, though, that it was a 5-man for Team Empire at bottom.
Yeah, then you won't find anybody anywhere. But once he's got that Skadi up and running, I don't think Slark's going to have too many cares in the world.
Is it Skadi, though? Is it Scotty?
Would you want to get Lincolns with this?
Because of the Batrider ult as well as the Doom, hell, even the Orchid. That's what I was worried about, is all that single target disable. If he gets initiated on, Slark is fish meat.
I would look at it from the other perspective and say, look for life point survivability. Right. So if you got that high increase in stats, then you should be able to survive the initial hit, unless you have both Batrider and Clinks committing on you.
Right.
And then even then, you probably need a secondary support hero to actually make that work. Because it's just because of his life points. So all he's got to do is just have the time to survive that, and then the Orchid will break off. He'll take the burst damage from that, but Dark Pact, Shadow Dance, comes back to full life, and he's soaked up everything that Empire's got. Yeah, that's probably the bigger thing. Like, even if he dies after all of that, it's just the ability for him to soak it up and having to have Empire commit that many abilities to kill him off, and then you'll have Centaur, then you'll have your Ember Spirit jump in there and get the kills.
Yeah, I think that, honestly, I'm okay with either item choice. It's one of the few times where it's like, I could go either way, 50-50 here with a Lincolns or with a Scotty. I would say that a Scotty pickup is better when you are, as a Slark, in this specific situation, is better when you're ahead. So when you know that you'll have enough stats when you don't have like a level 3 Doom or Batrider with like 4 Staff and Mask of Madness like that, when those single target disables aren't really that powerful, like they'll hold you in place, but will they really kill you? You know, I think then at that point the Scotty is going to be better. So like you were talking about, the just plain old stats being able to allow you to survive through those and then be able to pop your ultimate after they're all done. So I would say they're probably far enough ahead, but it's close. Like right now, RoX KIS are only 1,500 gold ahead, only about 2,200 experience as well. So I think they're ahead just enough to warrant a Scotty. But I think if it's even or you're even behind, Lincoln's is the better option. Just because the one disable when Empire are ahead, the one Doom, the one Lasso or Orchid, that they probably have enough damage to kill you.
Yeah. I can understand that logic, man. It's yeah.
Are you enjoying looking at Ember Spirit and his
I was also wondering too why the camera was pushing itself back up again, because I wasn't touching that at all. But it seems like with perspective camera, it actually zooms in and out a little bit by itself.
Yeah.
I wasn't really knowing that, but I was liking the sword look.
See, I've always kind of wondered, is Ember Spirit, like, does he have no hair? Does he have, like, small stubble? Is that, like, just burn marks on him? Or does he have small stubble? Because
he's definitely bald, man.
he's definitely completely bald.
That's a clean shaven.
So there are no like side chops there for Ember Spirit. Because that's what I imagine that black marking on the side of his face.
Oh, you think
just
you
being
think
big old mutton chops.
Ah, okay.
I think you're right though. I think he's bald.
I don't think hair can really survive when someone is on fire like this. Like it's just
That's
like
true.
the ultimate like Human Torch. But then again, actually, Human Torch had hair.
He did.
Which
he had a lot of hair.
I find that actually quite ironic, because like he burns his clothes off, but his hair stays fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like what the hey?
Radiant's bottom tower
Shouldn't be the case, should it? Unless his hair is protected by the... Don't know. Just walks around. I have no eyebrows. I have no eyelashes.
Toby, are you saying that comics aren't true to reality? Bottom, Godlike's gonna get caught.
Yeah, that
simple centaur stun.
Well, with the lasso as well to boot by Mag.
bottom tower is under attack.
So they at least have to commit one of their ultimates to kill him off. But right now, it doesn't really matter. If the supports of Roskis become food, it's better for them. When with no Blink Dagger coming up for Shadow Shaman, they remove out the second initiation. Beyond the, I should say actually third, because Fist to Chain is always a great initiation.
Mm-hmm.
It just holds you there for so damn long.
What do you think about the fact that Seedoy still has brown boots? Like, I can understand as a core centaur not wanting to go Tranquils. I'm not all that convinced that Tranquils is the be-all, end-all for centaur.
You don't need the movement speed. Like, if you're going to get healed, he's pulling that from the bottle anyway. Your movement speed's going to be coming out from your Stampede. Your mana is going to be coming out from your supports with their Arcane Boots. And if times get really rough, then Solo will just give you one of his bottle charges.
Yeah, but I would say, like, Strength Treads are really efficient use of gold.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Like, I'm not going to say, like, the Strength Treads wouldn't be a bad idea, but like Tranquils and a lot of other stuff, I can understand why he skipped it to get the Blade Mail and Blink Dagger, because they're two core items for him. And Doom, well, he throws it off on Yol. The tower will go down the Clinks. Well, Ember Spirit will take out the mid tower, but they're going to hold him there. Flamebraid's coming in. Silent needs a little bit more space, but just not enough. And the Doom won't be enough to kill off Yol either. So it ends up being a 1-for-1 here, a 1-for-1 tower trade with one hero going down for Empire.
And Doom being used. Like, that is huge. It means Slark and Ember Spirit can freely dive in.
Slark was trying to go into the deep end with Mag.
Oh, if only Resolution had an Orchid.
Don't need Orchid when you've got that last two over on Mag. But it's with his 4-staff going on to cooldown, that's the reason why. And with a fresh gem? Okay, that's a double-edged sword right there for Bane, picking up this gem. For a guy who's got basic boots, for a reason, and also grabbing a gem. Like, that's so we can at least see the Clinks walking next to him, as now Rubik grabs his own gem. I was about to say, because it would really hit him the other way around, where, like, Slark can be watched, the Shadow Blade becomes almost useless, and now you get Ember Spirit with also one of them, and Slark Shadow Blade steals the DD rune.
Both of them invis, both of them walking towards the double damage rune. And
they gave the gem to Resolution, so that won't happen again.
Yeah. I was about to say, you kind of almost want to put these gems on the invis heroes so that they can see the potential like counter wards being laid out beforehand, so they're not just stumbling into a trap. We are going to see Lincoln's for Slark, by the way.
Solo's moving up. They, Resolution, like he's going to Dark Pack this up, and now they see him. Fiend's Grip, and that gem goes to waste. This is now actually 2 gems in the hands of Roskis.
That is such a big swing in net worth. That is huge.
Yeah, okay, turns around and takes the gem. They're going to try and get a counter for this one. Batride's going to jump in through the top lane, searching for the blink in, but then the Shadow Dance very quickly popped off. Now Solo screwed up the chains up a little bit there, but the creep wave will still keep pushing him because of that. And it is going to be a Lincoln Sphere for BZZ.
Yep.
That's almost depressing for me, but still, it's understandable.
Yep.
But now BKB will arrive for the Doombringer. So he's just going to freely walk himself around in these fights, and he went for the casual plate mail. So it's going to be BKB up and running. We can go straight into the Assault Cuirass after this point. Doesn't have to be Shiva's Guard for this game. It's just a very simple late game for Empire, because I'm still feeling like in the late game, Team Empire have, I'm not going to say more potential. Actually, no, I will. Because your damage output coming from Resolution is still going to be very, very high. Your initiation from Mag, from the Batrider, should never be underestimated, especially into the later portion of the game. Because those kind of fights, it just takes one hero to get picked off and killed off for the advantage to completely swing in the game. So I'm still feeling like Empire's got the potential to win this game late, but RoX are also running with basically 3 semi-cores, so...
Yeah, I think that potential is a good word. Empire can win the late game, but I would side with RoX. Despite the fact that Ember Spirit is still like well, first of all, he's an offlane hero this game, so he's a little bit behind in farm. He's still going to pick up Battle Fury about 27, 28 minutes in, I would say. So not terrible timing. But he's a little bit behind. He's also a really risky late game carry, but it's not just him. That's the thing. It's not just him. It's also the Slark. So while Centaur may fall off in the late game, Shadow Shaman and Bane actually get stronger, I would say, as the late game, as their disables become more and more potent. So I would say that the supports are really strong for RoX, but as well as a late game Slark is a pretty terrifying force simply because of the fact he just never seems to die at all. He's just constantly in those team fights. He may not be able to output the most damage in the world, but it's that consistent damage where you can never quite kill him. He bounces away and he heals up and he comes right back in to apply more damage.
Yeah.
So, well, if they catch out the Ember Spirit, sure, like all that damage that they build up on an Ember, all that potential damage is put to waste, but then you still have BZZ to fall back on.
This top tower being fortified. Double TPs on the way. Seedoy gets a stomp over on Resolution, and Resolution almost dead. In fact, is dead. Dies to the Dark Pack in the middle of this fight. Now, BKB's gone on from Silent. They did get the rather quick kill, returning onto the center with the Mass Serpent Wars down. There's a lot of support fire here. Always on a fly. Focus the Mass Serpent Wars and always on a fly. Get rid of that Leshrac. There it goes, but Silent, he's already walked around this fight, getting an ultra kill for himself. Solo's got little to no mana left, and there's still the last two available for Mag. They're trying to slow him down. Flame Break, he has to stick charge to keep himself alive, and still running out through the mid. Silent, Scorcheth, 11. Actually, he's got another drum charge. They may pop it. No, Blink Dagger in from Mag. They mop up the entire of RoX during that fight.
And Vanscourt just had to, he just had to YOLO into the Serpent Wards to make sure that he grabbed the gem that was dropped earlier. So they did retrieve the gem. That was the power. That's all that was Leshrac, man. Leshrac destroyed RoX by sitting in the middle of everyone going, I am the god of AoE magic damage, fear me. He just turned on Pulse Nova, was throwing down lightning storms, and everything was getting hit by magic damage. So even if you do have Ember Spirit who has a maxed out Flame Guard, or even if Slark has that recovery Shadow Dance mechanism, it didn't seem to matter because everyone on RoX was focusing on something other than that Glass Cannon magic damage dealer of Leshrac.
Yeah.
Who isn't so Glass Cannon anymore because he just grabbed Soul Booster, has another 1,200 gold on top of that. You can expect him to actually build into a decent amount of stats now.
Yeah. And now he's going to have the rest of his team also giving him the cover fire required. Like, Resolution died rather quick during that engagement, but he's trying to find the space to build into his BKB now, with a Shiva's Guard over on Silent, so he did end up going for that, not the Assault Cuirass. But Shiva's Guard is going to cause even more troubles for RoX during these engagements. Once that Centaur ulti wears off, they have a real hard time staying in close, apart from, like, Dark Pacting Slark.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see the situations in which a Doom goes Assault Cuirass or when they go Shiva's. Assault Cuirass, I think, is picked up a little bit more often, but Shiva's has been rising a lot lately. I would say Shiva's is the item that you go when you're more of the tank and less of the damage dealer. So when you're drawing a lot of attention, which is exactly what he did in that last team fight, all the attention was put on him and his BKB and everything else. He stood in the front. If he can be that front damage dealer, slow down everyone with Shivas, tank up, soak up some of that damage from RoX, you can have Leshrac and your squishier Clink sitting in the back just outputting that constant damage from them. So I like the Shiva's pickup for Doom here. And the first Battle Fury is up for Ember Spirit.
Sorry, I don't know if you're watching like almost like a Ray Cooney show currently going on, but it was just like Roskis were pinging saying, please stand up here so we can see over to here, and then have the gem walk in range so that it can be denied. But then it was the Bane standing up on top of the cliff, so then the gem wasn't in range. So just kept going back and forth the entire time till Goblin just says, screw it, I'm gonna blink up on top of the damn hill, and you're gonna bring the gem in range, and then we kill off the ward. Seems like something that was meant to be so simple became so complicated.
I'm gonna go ahead and peek into that and provide insight, and I'm gonna say RoX has communication issues. When you can't even award a single ward properly, how are you supposed to get into complicated team fights well?
Well, they did it earlier tonight.
Yeah, they did it once.
They did it bloody well earlier tonight.
They didn't do it last team fight so well, though.
No, but they'll have to do it now if they want to get here in time, but that's because Roshan's being started up by Team Empire. And they are on their way, Roskis. It's just a long way to go. Like a long, long way to go. And they probably won't reach it in time. Roshan's below the 2k mark. Yeah, they're too late now. That's Aegis Immortal into the hands of the Clinks. And everyone from Team Empire is still ready to fight.
Yeah, Mag's going to get popped, though. The 3-man initiation, the Blink Dagger pickup from Godblack. Again, it's such a strong initiating tool for Shadow Shaman. You have that instant sheep. Then you can follow up with Seedoy jumping in and throwing down his little bit slower hoof stomp stun. And then they just quickly burst it down. So they may have grabbed Aegis, but they lost Mag, which means you still have Empire, Roxkiss, who gain more map control out of that. Because they can force a fight, 5v4, even with Aegis, they still have an advantage.
TP out, boys, TP out. They're hiding in the tree lines for now, and well, there goes your dust. Resolution starts his TP. One quick stun by Always Wanna Fly, gonna try and buy himself the space, and he did it. Solo didn't see where the stun came from. He threw the Spirit to the right, feeling it was over there, and that means both of these cheeky Team Empire players, both the Clinks and the Lashrak, will escape.
Yeah, now that the Batrider is back up, Empire once again regained the control of the game. Yep. They had a small period of time where Batrider was down that maybe they could force some fights, even with an Aegis. But now you're going to see Silent build into Assault Cuirass as his secondary item after Shiva's. Bloodstone was finished up by Always Wanna Fly. We have BKB soon to be up for Resolution. That's not far behind. Vanscore can build if he wants to. Mana Boots. If he wants to. Looks like he's going to go for a Blink.
Jump in. He's got Godblack. He's got their primary disabler right now, and Silent just pops off his BKB. He'll be controlled inside the Fiend's grip, but there's little to no damage coming out because of that. The Mass Serpent what's causing also issues for Seedoy. Even though obviously he's on the same team, it's just burning through it. And now Mag right behind Yol. Flame break it up with the level death as well. Silent picks up a double kill. Another jump in from Solo. And well, they're going to turn and go on Silent. Flame break, try and buy some more space here for Silent. And then he gets another level death. Triple kill for Silent. Blink on down by Mag. But BZZ is able to escape with that gem in his hands.
Damn, that extra bit of damage from level death. That stupid level 3 multiplier, man. That should have been a great turnaround there from Roxkiss. But losing Solo means that Empire win the fight. They recovered the gem. They were going to get a kill on Doom. I was like, okay, that's a decent recovery. But level 3 multiplier, man. Allowing you to do like a 500 damage nuke is ridiculous.
I think Vanscore, I kind of want to send him a message after this game and just go, hey, Vanscore, why do you hate Arcane so much?
Why do you hate mana?
Yeah. It's not so like you're a Rubik who's dealing 5 million different abilities during a team fight and has to cast like through a huge mana pool. But he's only got 741 mana pool. In saying that, he is level 11, but this is 32 minutes in.
Yeah.
And that's his mana pool right now. But he went the Blink Dagger, which is almost just as good as having Stampede, which he also does have.
I agree, though, with Vanscore's build. I would have gone Arcane Boots, but I think if you can save up for the Blink Dagger, this is smart, because you have two different channeling stuns on Roxkiss. You have the Shackles as well as the Fiend's Grip. His positioning in team fights, if he can have that instant jump in to stop that channeling stun, it could play a key part in the team fight. Not only that, but Fiend's Grip especially, the blink in, telekinesis to stop the Bane from Fiend's Gripping, and then steal it from him. Perfect. So it's surprising, but Blink Dagger before the Mana Boots for Vanscore, it's a strong pickup, and it's going to add just another dimension to this back and forth of team fights. Who popped their BKB?
BKB's up, but Seedoy, He's able to blink away in time, but I don't know if it'll be enough because there's still that haste strewn over on Mag. So he's able to chase him down. He's trying to push him into a corner, not really being successful at doing so, while Goblek battling up against Silent, drop down the mass serpent for this one. Now Seedoy, he will finally go down. Always want to fly and Mag working out together, while Solo, he's battling with Resolution, but he's got nowhere else to jump because he's dead. And the courier got sniped off in the meantime. There's a leap away by BZZ. Where the courier die, actually, well, it's the Dynasty courier that ended up going down. But yeah, BZZ, Doom is on him, which means there is nowhere else to run. That's going to be 4 heroes dying for RoX. And all for the price of a courier. But at the same time, that courier that died, look where it died. Right next to the Mana Serpent Wards, it was bringing in the full Assault Cuirass for Doombringer.
Oh, that really sucks, because then they would have so much extra pushing power right now.
They could even look at a tier 3 tower right now if they had it.
They could take, like, just taking down the armor a little bit away from that tower allows you to just chip it down that much faster. Still, though, Empire in a commanding lead now after the last couple of team fights, and that team fight was the example of the perfect power of those single target disables. They got a lasso on one person.
There's no care factor right now for Empire. With Mass Serpent Wards in the hands of Rubik, they just take the tier 3 tower. It's a good thing there's no Assault Cuirass, or else... Actually, no. It's going to be a full ranks anyway. The Mana Serpent was focused on the ranged ranks to start with. There's a quick jump in here from the Ember Spirit, but he's going to be careful. Mag's on the front lines again with that lasso, and Silent, he's already used Doom, so he doesn't have this available right now, but with Fiend's Grip, the melee ranks is almost gone. It does go down the Mana Serpent Wards, so Shrackstun bought the space to break free of that at least first stun with a Fiend's Grip. But now Yol, Solo on life, always want to fly. The Pulse Nova is working overtime, but again it's Silent who's taking the kills. Flame Breakdown, Seedoy, he's already been hit pretty hard by the Orca with the one extra arrow. It's not enough damage to kill him off. 68 life points, but Empire, they're just walking all over RoX inside their base, and they call the GG. Triple kill for Always on a Fly. Silent gets himself a double. And it looks like RoX will end up ending the EU scene, the EU game, sorry, with the same result as Cloud9, with a wonderful 5-for-1. Or 1-for-5, I should say, the other way around.
Yeah, I think that this game was actually pretty close than the devastating end. The climax of this game was pretty much Empire just like winning teamfight after teamfight, but I think that if RoX slowed down this game a little bit and went more into the late game, that they had a really good chance to take this. They already took such a commanding lead in the first 20 minutes of the game. If they had slowed down this match a little bit more and pushed this game later and let Empire be the one try and push and just go for split push, just go for pickoff. Instead, they tried to go for these team fights and just got destroyed every single time because there was a Doom with BKB that they were like putting a lot of damage into but never really killing. There was... rarely were they actually focusing down Always Wanna Fly or Clinks, the two big damage dealers for Empire during those key moments. They just didn't really take their opportunity that they built up in the first 20 minutes and turn that into an advantage going into late game. Instead, they just threw themselves at Empire, and Empire welcomed them with open arms. They said, hey, we wanted some team fight. Give it to us. You know, we bought all these single target disables for a reason.
Yeah.
They're still viable right now, 35 minutes into the game. If we were pushing 50, 55, 60 minutes into the game, those disables would start to fall off a little bit. And like the Orchid from Clinks, which destroyed Ember Spirit, wouldn't be as viable going into the late game. So hey, it's just that RoX, once again, their aggression, their way that they like to play, which is just go, 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 fight, 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 it worked against them once again.
Yeah. Well, man, let's wrap up for the night. It's been a wonderful evening. Guys, we're going to be returning with the MLG TKO live stream this Saturday night. We have the US finals of the MLG TKO scheduled for 21 CET on the 5th of the 4th. So that is, in fact... Well, if you want to do your time conversion, it's exactly this time. But coming up on Saturday evening, so look forward to your company then. The EU final, I was told by Holy Master, will not be played out this weekend because Team Empire is traveling to the Tech Labs LAN finals, so they will not actually be available to play their final matches up against Fnatic, which will be the best-of-5 grand final between the two of those guys. But yeah, that game will be coming up sometime in the next week as opposed to this week. So yeah, that's going to be it. And actually, that's the only broadcast coming up for as far as our broadcasts go for TKO, we will have those ones there. The D2CL finals, I know some people were asking about that one. That's coming up next weekend, so the 13th, and then the grand final, I believe, will be played out on the Tuesday evening. So there'll be a lot of great games coming up over the course of the next 2 weeks. And of course, definitely check out our coverage of the ESL 1. The qualifiers, the open qualifiers are already open. You guys can sign up. You've only got about a day and a half left to sign yourself up for the EU version of it. The US qualifiers are also coming up shortly too. There was a post over on JD about that, as well as over on ESL 1. But definitely make sure you are signed up for the ESL 1 open qualifiers and get yourself a chance to compete inside of that awesome competition, which we're also covering. And hopefully there'll be another competition which we'll announce hopefully soon. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that one. Hopefully the information will come out, and hope is the key word in that. All right, thanks for watching, peoples. VODs, youtube.com/join. It'll be up later. And of course, check out all the awesome stuff for MLG over at mlg.tv. For now, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.